as you can tell, we've jumped massively from the west coast of Picton, which is the ferry port, to the North Island. Yesterday it rained for 8 hours solid and we were just driving. We drove like 600 kilometers, but now we're really excited to get back to the North Island, explore, and yeah, we've got about a week left on the trip.
We managed to meet up with a friend that we are familiar with through Instagram and social media. His name is Sam, and he has kindly taken us up above Wellington. We are on his friend Josiah's property. It seems as though his family's owned a mega piece of property on the south coast of the North Island, and we are lucky enough to explore it this morning. The road's a bit bumpy, but they're in the car in front of us and we're just kind of trying to keep pace as we wind our way around the coastline. The place is incredible. I can't believe that people even live up here.
So as Ryan said, we're in the most beautiful coast area just outside of Wellington. These people have kindly let us into their home. We actually were just doing Defender shots up and down the coast. It's so much fun. The Defender is just such a perfect adventure vehicle, and the main reason we chose it is it's just so classic. It's been in production for like 30, I think 40 years. The shape and body means that the images which you take with it will just become timeless and be able to be sold in like 20 years time because people recognize it as an icon adventure. So we're just gonna hang here for the day, take some shots.
Hey guys, my name's Sam and I'm from Wellington, New Zealand. I'm an adventure photographer and also do a little bit of wedding photography here in Wellington as well. I love New Zealand. I love living here. I've lived here my whole life, born and raised in Wellington. I grew up snowboarding in the Tongariro region, which means I really love Mt Ngauruhoe. It's kind of our biggest mountain here in the North Island. Because of snowboarding, surfing and hiking as a kid, I've grown to really love the outdoors, which is why I love to photograph the outdoors, especially here in New Zealand, just to show everyone how accessible it is being in a place like New Zealand, in a country like New Zealand, to access the outdoors. I think there are a lot of people who don't realise how close we live to some of the world's most amazing landscapes. Recently I spent a night up on the Ruapehu crater at the Crater Lake. A friend of mine and we hiked up in the day and we spent the night there, and I think shooting sunrise the next morning coming up over the crater was a pretty special moment. That place is pretty special to me.
Hey guys, my name's Josiah Watson. I'm a Wellington, New Zealand based photographer. New Zealand's pretty amazing because it's such a small country, but it packs a lot into it. We've got alpine stuff and then we've got coastal stuff. It's like a haven for photography really. Personally, my favourite spot to take photos is in Milford Sound, just because of its grandeur. It's huge, there's heaps of keys flying around, which is nuts. One of my favourite shots I've ever taken was on a recent trip down in the South Island. We were hiking up to Mt Ngauruhoe and I was following along behind my good friend Sam, and he walked in between these two rock formations, and then behind that was this huge mountain called Mount Sefton, and he was just like hiking up and then kind of like leant over, and it just showed sort of process and like hard work, and it ended up being like one of my favourite photos I've ever taken.
So it is currently about 7 o'clock, the sun has just risen. We were absolutely running this morning. We were looking up locations last night and we just couldn't find it this morning, so we're running back and forth. We found the most insane spot of, what mountain is that? Ngauruhoe. So we're at Ngauruhoe this morning shooting sunrise. It was absolutely gorgeous. Like, we found this perfect road that leads up, well, nearly leads up to the mountains, but has this kind of perfect curvature, which we like to compress. So we're with Rachel, who we will introduce shortly.
Hi, my name's Rach Stewart. I'm a New Zealand photographer. My favourite photography is landscape. I've been doing it for about 3 years now. The reason why I love photography is it lets me showcase this beautiful country that I live in. I travelled lots of other places in the world and then saved my home for last. I've met tons of amazing people on this journey. Favourite location is Mt Cook by far. Every time I go there, the mountain looks different. It's been good to me. I've had such great conditions there. So much to explore. Waterfalls, glacial lakes, icebergs, mountains, you name it, it's got it. My favourite photo is probably one from Roy's Peak. Not the famous shot from the peak, but looking towards Mount Aspiring. We climbed up there in the snow, had an amazing sunset, was with a fantastic group of people. Such good memories. That's definitely a special one for me.
Alright, so we shot with Rach this morning. It took us a little while to find the road and the curve that we were looking to shoot, but we persevered, we made it, and I think we all walked away with something that we're pretty proud of. We've now made our way north to Rotorua. We are shooting in the Redwood Suspension Bridge Forest right now. I'm familiar with the redwoods from Southern Oregon, Northern California. Absolute just majestic place, and it has a very similar feel, so naturally I'm really excited to get out here tonight.